Unless Jimmy is staying out late. Because obviously he does make more money later at night than he does in the morning.
After the phone call with
Francis,
yeah, I will make my way back. However, I might be a few minutes later than everyone else. Give me one moment.
So, as everybody's arriving back at Sonya's apartment.
I will immediately hand, what's his name?
Jimmy?
I don't know his name. Jimmy, yes. I'll hand,
Yeah.
no.
Francis.
Francis.
I will immediately hand him the knife. Probably has something covering it, cloth. So you're not handle's not iron, of course, you know. That'd be stupid. And this should cause quite the bit of pain to this huntsman should he show up. Don't prick yourself with it, it'll hurt quite badly.
Oh, is this what I think it is? How did you make this?
What else would we use to hunt? The Fae, the huntsman, to fight back with.
Would this work on the huntsman? He wears iron.
They are Fae, are they not? He's got other clothing on underneath that. Come on.
You know, it doesn't work on him, right?
I don't actually know if it works on huntsmen. I'm just going on.
No.
No. Still a knife. Stab him.
I mean, you just say your character doesn't know that, so he's thinking,
Yeah,
oh, he's
I don't know, man. I just escaped a couple weeks ago. I don't know what's going on.
That's how I'm playing it. Does this work? But even though he's wearing iron, I don't know. Oh, no, okay. I'll be careful with it.
Just stab him anyways.
Just to clarify with GM, I got 2 dots in occult. I'm going on that for knowing that the iron doesn't affect huntsmen.
Yeah. You've been out a couple of weeks, but the Freehold has been in direct conversation with you over those weeks, so you're filled in fairly heavily with everything that the Freehold could provide.
Won't work against a huntsman, but it'll help against hobgoblins if you need it. A blade is a blade. It hurts some people more than others.
Aren't we having problems with the hobgoblins lately?
There you go.
It's best with the gun than with the knife. Look, not everything is trying to kill you. Just a lot of things.
Just most of them, yes. But
Yes, well,
can never be too ready.
Yeah, speaking of which,
It is summer after all.
I would like to
It's the season to
use
prepare.
something. Do something. Okay.
What
Because I
is...
saw that there's a loophole in something I have. I wanted to use Goblin's Eye so I can sense magic. But I know, I see all your faces. But I see at the bottom it says a loophole. I can burn owl feathers and smear it on my eyes. Can I do that instead? I do have 2 in occult as well. Being autumn, I do have a big kinship with magic.
You would need to track down said owl and get said feathers.
Can't just have it in my workshop?
Owl feathers aren't necessarily something you would
make?
have in a workshop.
What you make in your workshop?
That requires owl feathers.
They're having a sale at Walmart.
Autumn, magic, witches. Hello, is my workshop.
What is your workshop?
My
You gotta pick a
workshop helps me attune. I was gonna have it be like stocked up with like herbs and anything else magical that I may need, like for essential wise to help cast stuff. But hey, it seems like I'm pulling too many strings, so I'll leave that one alone.
Oh, I thought we were talking about your mechanic workshop.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about my workshop that I have.
Oh, you have 2 workshops.
She's
Yes.
talking about her hollow workshop.
Oh.
See,
What do you use to make? What are you making in the workshop, I should say? Because that determines what your workshop is and what it has.
I would be making.
Technically, you get 3 specialties because of how the Motley Merits work, so.
Oh,
Because I took 2 in workshop.
Oh, nice.
Okay, yeah, let me go back down to my workshop. 1
I
second.
mean, we can.
Yeah.
Skip this. Fine, I'll go back to my thingy.
We can figure it out later.
Yeah.
Or you could just cast Goblin Eye.
No, I'll save that for emergencies.
How much does it cost? 2 glamour? 1 glamour?
It's goblin. It's a goblin.
debt.
It's a goblin.
Oh, it's a debt. Ah.
Yeah.
The Goblin Debt.
So I'll
Don't
save
go
that
with
for
it.
emergencies and not just use it to use it. I was just gonna use it to use it.
Before they take your eyes.
Or
Yes.
something else.
Yeah.
It could be a lifelong debt that I could pay. Or they can
Yeah,
just do
your
something
eyes.
immediately.
Your left boob.
Why not left? Why?
Oh no, this.
Because the right one is your party boob.
Oh no, we've already hit our first outtake, have we not?
What?
This is
Why?
heresy.
This is Harry.
Why?
I will be calling the Inquisitor immediately.
That's the huntsman.
Take the left boob.
About to team up with the Huntsman.
Loyalist alert.
I
Lethal
hope
with a
not.
gun.
Okay.
But you guys do
Jeez.
arrive back home, as stated. Leon has handed his new knife over.
And Francis is holding it daintily. Far too daintily for such a large man.
But if you never had like weapon training,
No.
okay, fair enough. Have to fix that sometime. No time tonight though.
Assuming Francis begins dinner.
Yes, it's dinner time. Grandiose dinner. Because that's all I make.
Midway through. Sonya, what are you doing?
I'm finishing up the last room of the day. The night shift people are slowly starting to arrive. And I'm slowly just finishing up the last room, making sure everything is put away, looking at my half-eaten sandwich that our hotel chef prepared for me, because he's very nice. Yeah.
About at this time that your phone rings.
I pick it up, and I look at who's calling first.
It's your best friend. What's her name again?
Oh, her name is Alondra, but we call her Lemmy for short. That's her nickname.
Well, Lemmy is calling.
Lemmy?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm pretty good, just finishing up the last room.
It's been a while since we've hung out. Do you want to do something later? I can pick you up.
Sure, tonight?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I could go for some food. I only ate half my sandwich, so I'm pretty hungry actually. Today was a bit of a wreck. We had a lot of summer college kids come by, so not the greatest tippers, and they always leave the rooms in such a mess.
All right. Well, I'll be there in like 20 minutes. I'll pick you up, and we'll get something to eat.
Sounds great.
Do
I'll
you know-
see you then.
Do you know if that Kelly's place is still open?
Should be? She kind of forgets that her phone has a the time on it, but she's like frantically looking for the time. Well, if anything, we could just drive around and see if there's anything open. I'm not picky.
All right. I'll be there shortly. See ya.
Bye. I hang up. And she's kind of getting her stuff ready. She walks to the locker room, gets her stuff, and tries to forget about her previous life. It's kind of hard sometimes to hang out with her, as much as she wants to hang out with her more often, but at the same time she has to make sure that she doesn't realize that there's technically someone who looks very close to me. And just hanging out with her brings back a lot of what should be nice memories, but are not very nice now.
Jimmy. It's your last show of the night. Tips were much better than they were in the morning, as you would come to expect. However, as you look out over that crowd, faces start to distort just ever so slightly. It almost seems like the shadows in the corner solidify, but they don't take an exact shape that you can tell. Before the shape, whatever shape it happened to be, fades back into nothingness.
I imagine sort of snapping out of it as the music sort of turns into just feedback. And sort of, yeah, sorry about that, and carry on playing at least until the end of the song, and then afterwards, whatever the tips, just taking what I can and going up to the bar and like, hey, just do me for one, take it out.
Bartender nods. You know this guy. His name is Jack. Kind of nods at you and goes, "So you're gonna be back again tomorrow? Or should I schedule somebody else?" Up to you.
Well, it depends. Yeah, I mean, it's alright. It's all ambience, isn't it? But hey, I do alright from them, and hopefully you do alright from me.
I will always keep my door open to you so you can keep, playing your stuff.
I appreciate it. Most people don't want to hear it anymore.
I always thought that was weird. That was such a short-lived... He thinks about his words. Short-lived genre. You almost heard the word fad come out of his lips. You saw his lips start to form the word fad, but he corrected himself very quickly.
Well, it's not dead yet, right? I mean, there's what do you call them? Those Queens of the Stone Age. They're still going, ain't they?
Thanks for a second. I'm not entirely sure, honestly.
And yeah, this is where Jimmy begins to falter, because as far as he was concerned, 2 months ago, Kurt Cobain was still alive. That's the so any kind of post-grunge band is now like that, like probably vaguely aware of the Foo Fighters, but and I mean, Pearl Jam still going, but anyway, come on, it's still got legs yet. You've got to give it that.
Well, maybe you'll be the one.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But until then, we've always got the memories, right?
I suppose. He delivers your usual to-go.
I appreciate it. Till tomorrow.
Till tomorrow. Take care of yourself, Jimmy.
You too, Jackie boy. I'll see you soon. Literally shotgun the drink, put the bottle down, and head out.
As you leave later than most people, the town is dead quiet. Like, to the point where not even a single car is on the road. At this point, about at the halfway mark, somebody stumbles into you. as you look at this person who has just bumped into you, you're vaguely aware that they are not changeling, but they are not mortal either. Stands before you is roughly a 4-foot tall creature. Hodgepodge of different features, very long fingers, abnormally long legs, but they seem permanently bent. Almost looks like some type of water reed for eyebrows. They kind of look up at you and they go, "Ah, how you doing?"
Yeah, I'm all right. Which way you going there, son?
"I'm sorry, I'm not used to this world yet." "Hey, you're one of those changelings, aren't you?" "Don't worry, I have nothing to do with the keepers and the like." And yes, he's being rather loud as he's speaking.
Yeah, just tone it down, all right? If you're what I think you are, then don't go shouting your mouth off with those kind of terms. You keep it on the DL when you see anyone like us. Don't just walk up to us.
"I'm not. Whatever, you guys are all paranoid
no.
anyways."
You think I'm bad? Go and meet Leon.
I'm pretty sure I'll meet him. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of all the stuff going on.
Stuff.
Oh, how the Hedge is dying and a lot of us are having to leave. So, like, I'm stuck here. Obviously, I have to make trips back into the Hedge so I don't, like, die. But I can't actually stay in the Hedge because it's, like, rotting away or something. I don't know. Some of the humans are also getting sick.
How many of there are you right now?
Oh, the Freehold's putting us up in that one hotel. They're buying out rooms. It's starting to cost them really an arm and a leg. They all think we're college students. It's actually kind of funny. But right now, there's at least 30 of us. And apparently, this is all around the world. It's getting worse and worse. Yeah. Who knows how bad this is going to get at the end of the day.
Right, yeah.
And despite your pleas for him to be quiet, he's still like, he's got one of those voices that's just super loud. Like, even if he was whispering, probably a room could hear him.
Hold on 1 minute. Because don't tell me anything more. Because I know someone else is going to hear this. And,
well, the walls do have ears.
Oh.
And potatoes have eyes.
And mountains have ears. Yeah, I've heard them all before. It's...
Actually, mountains don't have ears. Corn do, though.
You never heard of mountain ears?
Nah.
That's lost on you. But I'm going to give Lark a call. And it's the, hey, listen up, I've got a bit of a straggler and I don't fully trust him, if you get my drift, but just...
Hey, why don't you trust me?
Because you're being really loud and it's the kind of thing that would be done by any kind of huntsman to give us away. So, stum. Look, a friend of mine's hopefully going to come and pick us up and then we can talk. But like, can you come along, meet this... I think it's a goblin. Have a bit of a chat, but just drive around, just go around a block or whatever you do. Just not so public. Maybe bring some of the others.
Lark is taking a very long time to respond.
Sorry, 1 second. My roll 20's being weird. It just like changed screen real quick. Okay. I am here. Okay. Hi. Get myself back together. Repeat the tail end of that.
Just need you, and potentially the others, bring them along, but come around, just drive around for a bit. Don't go anywhere in particular, but it gets us off the street while this guy tells us what's going on. Hopefully not in quite so many decibels.
Ooh. Who knows how to drive?
Everyone.
Right.
I thought you went with cars, that's why I phoned you.
Ah,
I did pit one. I can drive one.
To be fair, the drive skill isn't necessarily driving down the street normally. It's for like evasive,
stressful driving.
yeah, aggressive driving.
Oh.
Everyone can drive.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Cool. So I'll gather up the others and just do a roundabout drive-by.
So, is that club any good? Or whatever it is.
It depends how you feel about mellow music and, well, mother's milk that they sell as drinks.
What's milk? That sounds actually good.
So,
So, what are we doing?
I'm gonna literally bide the time and explain to him what cows are. I'm gonna draw this out so he's not distracted. He goes, right, so these things, going way, way back, were once a source of calcium. Now that is the thing that that you take in, and it causes strength in your bones, and it's good. It's and yeah, literally string out. Just stop him talking about changelings and huntsmen and anything that might get noticed.
Distracted child
Where's-
moment.
Where's Spencer?
It is, yeah.
We need
I'm
Spencer.
explaining cows and that milk comes from cows.
Hey, no, that's illegal. So, who's all going with Larkspur?
I call everyone and be like, hey, coming up. Most likely we'll call Melly, what's your character's name?
Sonya.
Sonya, yes. Call her, get her location as well, and attempt to call.
I actually ignore the call because
Excuse you?
I think by that point I'm already with my bestie.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that I'm ignoring you, it's the fact that it's in my bag and we're having dinner, so I'm not.
You put me on mute. Okay, talk about that later. Anywho, whatever happens to you happens to you. I'm gonna just attempt to round everyone else up.
It's a miss.
Rude.
It's a Thursday night and tomorrow I have the day off. I just wanted to have a nice meal.
Okay. Like we don't have a chef at home, but okay.
But then I feel
got it.
so many dishes I have to wash afterward.
So yeah, get Jimmy, get Gandhi's character, forgot your name too, and meet up with
Jimmy
whatever
and
his character's name is.
I'm playing Jimmy.
You're Jimmy.
Okay.
I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
Leon.
Gandhi is
and
Leon.
Francis.
I'm Francis.
Francis and
that's
Leon
it.
are together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Meeting up with them.
In the meantime, when I get a moment as well, so what do I call you? To the little.
You call me whatever you want. I don't really care. I don't really have a name. Or at least I'm not willing to give you my true name. You know.
Yeah, I get that. Looking up and down, what's the most sort of prominent feature?
Most prominent feature are probably actually his fingers. Which seems like a very odd prominent feature. But as you kind of look at your normal hand, his fingers are probably roughly 5 times as long as they need to be.
No. God, no.
Scratchy.
Hold on.
That,
I'll go back. I'll let you know. I need to look up something before I give him the name.
Well, it's roughly at this time. Leon and Francis, would you go with Lark when she arrives?
Yeah, there are strange huntsmen's getting bold, so you never know when it'll show up. Not gonna. I'll be there when he shows up. That's my plan.
Yeah, strange things are happening, and Francis would like to know before he's a victim.
Well,
Yeah.
it doesn't take you very long, Lark, to pick them up from your mechanic shop, make a loop around the bar that Jimmy generally works at. You obviously see Jimmy and this creature as you make your first loop around before pulling up beside them.
This is a merit. So merits are automatically like passive activated, right?
Generally
Yeah.
speaking, yes.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to do this. Never mind.
So he kind of, as you pull up to a stop, he kind of places his hands on the car door.
Hey, hey,
And-
hey,
and
hey!
kinda-
Watch the paint job.
He's not. It's. He doesn't have like claws or anything. It's just really long fingers. Kind of places them up right where the window would, where it be, and he kind of tries to lift himself up because he's like 4 foot tall, and he's looking in the driver's side window. How you doing in there?
Hey, Shortstack, how's it going? You want to hop in the back?
Shortstack. What's that?
It's another name. Incidentally, I'm calling him Rum.
Rum?
I have 2 names now. Shortstack Rum. Rum Shortstack. Sure, I'll go with that.
It's,
Rum Shortstack.
Something from the hometown. It's the whole hands thing and the long fingers and thumbs. Fingers and thumb means rum. I'll run in slang. And open up the door and go on in.
What is this thing?
It's like a hedge beast, but this one is made. Well, you burn dinosaurs in it and it goes.
Burning dinosaurs. He,
Yeah.
he kind of hops in. And you notice he kind of more so. His legs are really short, so he kind of walks on all fours with his fingers.
I don't like this.
Nice. I like it.
I'm adopting him.
This legit like made me cringe so hard. That sounds fugly. Not ugly, fugly.
So,
Ah,
what type of vehicle is this?
I have a Jeep.
So he kind of sits in the back of the Jeep, crosses his legs, lays his fingers over the top of his legs, goes, "So what are you changelings doing in town here? Every changeling's here for a different reason." Once again, like, you're thankful that this is a Jeep. Is it one of those like open Jeeps?
No, please
No,
no.
it's not an open Jeep. So all
Okay.
this noise with us.
Just shut the door very quickly. Stop.
There's a door, roll up the windows, start the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, because
No.
you've now got him in an enclosed space, his voice echoes. What are you changelings doing in town here?
Who? Right. Let's make some things clear. Who are you asking on behalf of?
Rum Shortstack. Asking on behalf of myself, I guess.
Seriously.
I'm saying
No.
things right? I'm not making a fool of myself here.
Tell you what, I'll give
Not
you
yet.
an answer. We're just living. Much the same as you, I suspect. What are you doing in town? Probably the same thing.
I mean, I'm fleeing the hedge because the hedge is like dying or something. Humans are getting sick, people are dying. I mean, it's probably all connected some way.
Has the hedge ever got sick before?
I mean, there's occasional upheavals and stuff like that, but not like turning black and leaves falling and thorns dissolving. Not that type of stuff.
So you
Um,
run away from your dying home instead of fixing it.
I'm sorry, but, you know, nobody knows what the hell's going on. What makes you think you know what's going on? So, Mr. Smutty Pants?
I don't know what's going on, but the fact that at the first sign of complications, you all book it and leave the hedge.
I wouldn't say this is the first sign of complications. It's been going on for like,
I hate to.
I don't know time. Time's weird for you guys.
Yeah.
I hate to point this out, Leon, but first opportunity we had, we booked it and left the hedge.
It wasn't
Wow.
our home.
Yes.
Could have been.
You
Yeah,
are
that's
free
true.
to go back.
No, I'm gonna hard pass on that
What
one.
stop you from strolling back to Arcadia?
Quick
No.
quick question, Rum Shortstack. You said the hedge gotten sick before. Like it just heals itself, or does someone take care of it?
I mean, it does whatever the hell it wants. I mean, you know enough about the hedge, I'm sure. It does what it wants to do. I mean, we all have a little bit of say in what happens with it, but, you know.
Imagine the hedge wants to be sick.
Yeah, and that's where weird things
That's
come
what-
in.
That's where the problems come in. Yeah, I get that.
So what's happening in the hedge?
Like
Other than
everything's
the-
going black.
Yeah, other than that, what else is happening? Is there anything... I'm not going to say anything unusual happens, because that's what happens in the hedge, but is anything that has never happened before suddenly started?
Any wars, casting magic?
What are the Fae doing?
And then, as you look at this creature, he has become completely distracted and is now leaning over to Leon and is aggressively sniffing him. I smell goblin fruit.
Well, yeah, if you didn't run away from the hedge and stayed, you could have had goblin fruit. But fortunately, it's in the hedge, not here.
Yeah, I go back to the hedge every now and again because, well, I can't really live out here. You know, it causes problems. I'm not like you guys. I'm not fancy. You know, I had a keeper once. Tried to make me into a dog turd. I don't even know what a dog is. You know how uncomfortable that is?
Very much so. Being one thing and then wanting to change you into something else.
And
he sees like a little color glimmer in her eyes.
Oh, he's not looking at Lark. His face and nose is buried in Leon's hair.
Oh, he's all up in there. You're that close. I thought it was just like a quick like.
That's a
He's
hard
like,
sniff.
oh, okay. Got yourself a buddy, a little leech. Got yourself a leech over there.
With them long fingers.
I don't have anywhere to. I can't. Let me open the door and roll.
No.
This is Jeep.
Please.
It seats 5, and there's 5 of us in here.
Oh man.
You don't happen to have any on you, do you?
No, I don't need any right now. I keep it on the plant. It stays fresher that way.
What?
You not know anything about farming?
I'm not a farmer. I'm a merchant.
Ooh.
Well, surely you probably want to know where your merchandise comes from. What do you deal in goblin fruits? Everyone does.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody does, but that's not necessarily my main source of income.
Why not diversify? Why
Contin-
just be a merchant when you could be a merchant and a farmer? I don't get it.
What do you sell?
Leon,
Yeah.
at this time you feel something wet against your scalp.
So do I pull out the shotgun from the coat?
Does he know what that is? To take it as a threat?
No.
Don't blow holes in my Jeep. No shooting in the Jeep.
Oh no. I'll push him. Can I push him off?
He doesn't really resist. He goes, Pretty good crop you got going.
Oof.
Well,
What were
unless
we
you have
talking about?
something to offer for it, you're not getting it.
I mean, I could always offer you a contract or something. Should you be willing to take it? But, you know.
Oh, I don't know how that really works here. I mean, you're the one that wants something from me, so surely you're the one paying for it, right?
What you got to
That's
offer?
just how a deal works.
He sits down and looks around. I don't feel like that was the reason I was brought here. Why was I brought here again?
You
Am I
never
in
told me.
Looks over at Jimmy.
You never told me. You said that you were staying here because you had to leave the hedge from time to time, and then I told you about cows, and then we got in the car, and well, stage is yours, my friend.
Yeah. So, if you wanna, like, I guess the word is take me home. I mean, the hotel would be nice. That's where all the other hobgoblins and other creatures are staying.
Oh, why did you stop me in the first place? You walked into me. That was...
Yeah, I was exploring. Never been here before.
You mean you didn't deliberately get my attention like that?
To my knowledge, wow, I've heard stories of your guys' paranoia, but, oh boy.
I'm gonna start driving to the hotel. I'm just heading in that direction.
We'll take you back, but there's always this thing that one day something's going to happen and we'll end up being dragged back to Arcadia. Now, all of us live without fear. You can't just go around talking to changelings like that. You were all right today, but next time they might not be take it so kindly, you know?
So you're not here for the same reason I am?
We left
Hedge
a while
die and
back.
all that?
No, we left a while back. First I've heard about it. And I want to glance over at Leon and see if there's anything.
Oh, no, the hedge is... What he says is true. Black vines, thorns dying, leaves rotting away. I cut it back as much as I can, but it grows back as the hedge does. So it's still growing, it just... perhaps is a little wilted. I'm not too concerned.
See, that is your downfall. The hedge is a very important place.
Grows back still, does it not? Still is alive.
It is alive, yet not alive. A weird conundrum now, isn't it?
So what happens if the hedge dies?
Well, I can tell you what it does to food. And he takes two of his really long fingers, and you see him kind of have to reach his arm up and around. And he starts digging around in what you could only assume are some tattered pants. And he pulls out what looks to be a goblin fruit. But this goblin fruit is a different color. It's a mixture of black with violet swirls in it. He holds this kind of directly in Leon's face, like, you know, annoyingly so. You know what this is, right? Of course you do. You're a smart man.
It is familiar with the, It's not a breed of plant. What? Sorry, I'm going blank.
So, you've never seen one this color, have you?
I've seen goblin fruits in all colors.
Ah, but you haven't seen it like this before. I can guarantee that.
If I say yes, will you continue the conversation?
I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling.
How are you feeling? You want to continue the conversation?
Sure. So,
I'm
buddy.
going to stop the brakes.
I bet he ate one of these before. Want to know what happened to him? A sandworm ate him.
Not sure
Yeah,
that's
that's-
really related, my friend.
I was going to say, that sounds like two completely unrelated incidents.
I definitely could see why you would say that. However, here's the clear distinction. One, there was no sand. And two, the sandworm came out of his chest.
It is the Hedge. I mean, I'm sure there's been stranger things.
Stranger things, well, I guess it depends on your definition of strange here. I mean, normally you don't eat a goblin fruit and then immediately have some sort of worm thing bust out of your stomach chest area.
Oh yeah, normally people don't cultivate those. You must have just gotten it from a shifty dealer.
But see here, this is common now. I'm sure your plants will eventually start doing that as well.
I'm sure it's a conspiracy by the big goblin fruit to corner the market.
If only such things were true. It's about this time that you do pull up in front of where Sonya usually works, the hotel. The hotel. Well, so I would say I would talk to you guys later, but apparently I'm not allowed to talk to you guys.
I didn't say that. You just be mindful of what you say to who you say it.
You ever used the phone before?
No.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to write down my number. I'd say you go up to the front desk in there, and you ask them to call this number. Now they're going to give something, and you need to talk into that. You'll be able to hear my voice, but you won't be able to see me. But we're having a conversation just like now. And if you want to meet up, you want to tell us anything more, or any of your other companions want to meet with us, you just, like I say, you go to the front desk, ask them to call that number. It'll be me.
Okay. He takes the number, he rolls it up into a little ball, and throws it into his mouth and swallows it. Before he makes his way out of the Jeep. Waddling.
What does he look like to other people? Yeah, we see what he looks like to us, but what does he look like to them? I just gotta know.
I just
Would
love
we be
the
able
idea.
Is he a tall, like, cute blonde with, like, leather
I'm just imagining. I'm
He looks like
imagining
Danny
like a
DeVito.
typical.
Yeah, is he
I'm
Danny
imagining-
DeVito? Can he be Danny DeVito?
I'm like really big glasses.
I'm imagining.
Please.
And it's just like right there waddling.
I've got the Danny DeVito with the them as
It's
the.
canon. It's canon, y'all. We had Danny DeVito.
I've got, but saying who's college students, I've now got Danny DeVito doing that Steve Buscemi. How do you do, fellow students?
Oh god. Oh shoot.
DeVito, we love you.
We love you. Just phone in his hands like
Ah,
The most laughter that has ever happened in a Changeling game.
oh shoot.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Bogus.
He is a relatively short, stocky built man. And he walks in, and, you know, the front doors of the hotel close. Can't really see him anymore.
All right. So stuff is dying, and you mentioned about people in this world being sick. There's obviously a connection since we got taken onto that side. You think?
Well, there's been sickness going around for a few years. It's been progressively getting worse. minor symptoms here and there, but not too much to where the government has taken any sort of action at this time. People are getting the sniffles, and obviously, some people think it's nothing, some people think it's the end of the world, you know. All sorts of in between as well. I'm assuming you begin to take off?
Yeah, take off and
Jimmy,
start heading home.
Jimmy, your phone rings.
Is it by any chance the hotel?
You would probably have the hotel's number since Sonya
Yeah,
works
mm.
there. Yes, it's the
Yeah, just in
hotel.
case. Yeah, I'll answer it.
Hey, you told me to call you, so I'm using this phone thingy. The front desk people are looking at me a little weird, though.
Yeah, pretend like you know what you're doing. Don't.
But I don't know what I'm
things like-
doing.
Just pretend like you do. That's how you're gonna get by.
All right, I'm good at pretend.
That's it. You want to play up to that. Pretend you know what you're doing, right? If you go around saying things, it's not just people like that that's going to think you're being a bit strange. There are people out there that will take advantage. They will, if they think that you don't know what you're doing, they're going to use that and they'll extort you. And they'll get what they can out of you, maybe hurt you, but I don't want to see that happen.
Nobody extorts goblins except for other goblins. And maybe the Fae, but you know.
Yeah, well, when you're a little guy running around the city, you don't know what you're doing, then, like I say, things work differently here. It's not like Arcadia. You don't have to make deals for everything, all right?
That doesn't sound fun. I'll make deals still. So, well, I've tested this. It works. So, what do I do now?
Well, I'm gonna end the call, and you're gonna. But before I do, you're gonna say goodbye. And if anything else happens, we do this again, and you tell me straight away, and we'll come and meet you.
Goodbye.
And I'm gonna cut off the call. I'm just seeing him now, just stood there, just holding the phone.
100% what's going on.
Yeah. He was also talking about the fade from the receptionist.
Yeah, but it's the middle of the night. He probably just got dropped off from the bar. You know, he's drunk. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they probably just think he's a
Probably
drunk.
not the weirdest thing they've heard at the front desk.
Really hope so.
Yeah, there's this anime comic book convention that happens every year. We get a bunch of weirdos. We're pretty used to it. A guy coming in looking like Danny DeVito. So there must be another festival thing going on. Okay.
Yeah. Danny DeVito convention, that's what's happening. Just a whole bunch of Vitos.
So if they're buying up all the rooms for the goblins and others from the Hedge, he said there were like 30 goblins in that hotel. Are they all like him?
They might just be. So we might not stay in this. Well, I don't know about you guys. I might not stay in this town that much longer. if he's like that, just saying things out of the blue, it'll draw too much attention.
Well,
we already got a horseman on our tail.
I was just thinking, if they're going through that much trouble, surely they've taken some measures of protection. I would hope.
That's protection, running. He said so himself. It's like the hedge is the hedge. No one does anything for it. It just
protection
does its own
against the goblin saying
stupid things
and confusing people.
Yes.
There's probably a number of changelings at the hotel.
I would imagine so. So maybe it's not too bad. Okay.
And guess we can always ask Sonya. Look, she can keep an eye on them, check in. You know, just.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a lot of goblins.
So
if the hedge is spawning, it doesn't matter where you go. That will be the case. Wherever you end up, there's going to be goblins coming through because they don't know where else to go.
Right.
I'm just worried about, if the hedge does die, what does that mean for us?
Arcadia and our world become intertwined. I'm guessing.
True Fae here?
Or the hedge dies and then the true Fae can't reach us anymore. We don't know.
Well, the hedge is the thing separating us.
Yeah, the hedge is the barrier.
Burn
that
the
stops
bridge.
them.
How are you going to cross the chasm?
It's
No, 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 no.
Ignoring
It's less a
flying-
bridge and more a wall. So if you break down the wall, then the path is open, right?
Yeah, that's
If you
gonna be
break
free
it
range.
enough, then there's going to be a hole.
Oh, jeez.
Well, you
I'm just saying we don't
volunteered to
know
break
what's
it
going to
enough.
happen. There's no way we can know what'll happen. We can guess. It'll likely not be good.
Like I say, the wall comes down. That's all I can think. That
Much
place and
as-
this place.
As much as, we hate the Fae and Arcadia, I feel like if the hedge is what's keeping them away, then we should fix that. Somehow.
Oh, yes, I'm still working on trying to keep the hedge at bay. Perhaps I can find a better way to keep the edge of the hollow safe, and maybe heal the hedge itself. Make it stop being so rotten.
Yeah.
I don't know. All I know is I need to build a much larger fence, perhaps, to keep the rot away.
Possibly.
Not that that will change anything, perhaps.
Quick
but-
question. Out of game, would Larkspur, like, she would have connections with her court, right?
Yes, everybody would at this point.
Yeah. My mantle is 3, so that's like my ranking in there. Could I would have communication lines to any higher ups or something of that nature?
You're essentially right in the middle of the pack, so I mean, you know the names of the higher ups. You're certainly not new in the court, but it would take substantial leverage to have them even bend an ear to.
Okay. Let's see.
Sorry, what's...
I'm just gonna shoot my shot, and I want to get in contact with anyone of a higher up, if that's a possibility. I don't know how. Like, is that a
sorry,
spell
what's
or
the-
something?
governing...
I mean, if you consider picking up the phone and calling somebody a spell, then yes.
Okay, so I actually do have them on speed dial or something. Okay.
The freehold would probably have the entire freehold's number.
That sounds like a horrible, breach of security if one changeling gets compromised.
It doesn't say freehold ally number 23. No, it just has a name.
Yeah,
It's super important.
Freehold switchboard.
but we are talking about the Fae. Names are just as bad.
Do you think
True.
that they probably are using their real name?
I don't know what the other courts do.
What's
But
in your
anyway.
speed dial?
When we go home, I'm gonna try to get in contact with one of them and share what I've just learned.
The one that you get in contact with.
What season? Which
Summer.
court is
I'm
running
autumn.
things at the moment as well? Summer. No,
It's
at
summer.
the moment in the summer. Okay.
Summer. Hi, Summer.
Hi, Summer. I'm
Hi.
gonna call my high fall.
And there is a specific reason why I'm saying hi, Summer. But,
yeah, Summer is interesting when they're in rule.
however, you do get a hold of
Rough.
somebody. Somebody by the name of Penelope. At least that's what she calls herself. She goes, we told you about all this. Yeah, this has been going on for a while. We're currently housing goblins and all the like, just to try and keep them out of the way. You don't really have a place to go. Most of them don't want to flee to Arcadia. The ones that do are obviously fleeing that direction. But, I mean, we've been trying to even head shape this, and it seems like the more dense the blackness is in an area, it becomes resistant to head shaping.
Hmm. Yeah. And I'm not sure if this is connected as well, but I'm alone when I'm talking, right? Or is it or anyone else around me?
Depends on
I
where
mean,
you are.
yeah, you're
Oh, okay, well, whatever.
to the best of my knowledge, you're still in the Jeep driving everybody back.
Oh, I said I was gonna call when we get home, but
Oh.
whatever. I'll do the car here.
Well, I mean, then everybody's in the apartment with you.
Okay, sure. Not too secretive. Some strange things have been happening with the crew I'm with right now. First, this morning I had a nightmare of the hunter, and then just strange glimpses of things happening to each one of the members. I feel like something strange is going on. The Fae are up to something.
Unfortunately, the best I can tell you is that's just kind of normal. I mean, think about everything that we've went through. There's going to be some fear. I mean, very clearly there's some fear, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's kind of our thing. But nonetheless, controlled chaos is more useful than things running amok.
And you guys are relatively new. The nightmares do get... Well, I would love to tell you they get easier. They don't. They get maybe less frequent, but just as hard on all of us.
All right. Thanks. If anything else comes up, of course, shared information among us is open, at least on my end.
Of course. I mean, we're all here for each other. That's kind of why we form these organizations. We're here for each other. Hell
Real
or
quick-
high water.
Hell or high water. Real quick, is there any chance? Is there like a library or someone of age I can get a bit of history on the Hedge? Witches, anyone you think I should cross paths with?
I mean, I remember... I don't know why you're asking me. I think you should be asking Sonya.
Yeah, just want to try different avenues just in case. Not all information is the same that circulates.
Sonya seems to actually know more about the Hedge than most, so she would definitely be the one you should ask.
All right. Thanks, Penelope. Oh. And she hangs up.
Yep. Sonya, you've had a lovely dinner with your friend. Lively chit-chat. But all good things have to come to an end as she drops you off in front of your apartment.
I close the door after waving goodbye, take out my keys, getting ready to, open that door.
You
Do
are
I just find the gang?
Yeah, you are greeted by... Francis probably still looks a little bit, shaken.
I don't blame you. The nightmare was pretty bad, but other than that, how was your day?
Well, it didn't stop at just the nightmare. It was like throughout the day, I saw glimpses and pain in my leg. It's just been bad.
Yeah, that's... well, that's a bit of PTSD, I would think. Nightmares. Feeling almost real. But we went through a lot. So much so, sometimes it makes you wonder if it's even worth being here. But that doesn't matter, we're here now, so at least you had a decent day. Anything else? Sorry I'm late, I actually was catching up with an old friend.
Yeah. We made a new friend as well. Or at least he did.
What you
Jimmy.
call friend?
Acquaintance.
You really liked
Yeah,
you.
friend is a. Like I say, friend is a strong
A
term.
very long stretch.
And sorry, you've had a tough one. I've got something if you want to ease up a little bit.
I kind of
How
put
about you?
my bag and my jacket away. Okay, well, I'm glad you guys made a new friend today. I'm just gonna shower then, because I smell like, well, bleach.
Yeah. Real quick, we might need to talk a bit more about the hedge. And we found your college student issue. She goes into the kitchen and starts making some tea.
My what?
College
Oh.
student issue.
Were you guys at my workplace? How'd you know that there was college students?
No, we met a guest, and I'm guessing that you haven't seen any of them yet.
No, I mean, it was just extra busy because, like you said, there's a lot of college students there, so trashing up the place. Never give good tips.
Well, I don't think it's that they don't have the money to tip. I don't think they have the understanding of how tipping or money, for that matter, really works.
Have you seen any of these college students?
Well, no, generally,
Or just
I only go in once I'm cleaning, so knock, polite.
They're not college students.
And then she kind of takes out a Lysol wipe and starts cleaning the counters. What are you guys talking about?
They're the estranged refugees from the Hedge. I mean, that's where the Freehold's keeping them.
goblins and the like, with the cover of them being college students.
With that, her skin kind of turns even more pale. Then she starts wiping even more.
Don't. Sonya, remember, look at me. Remember where you are. You don't have to do that. That's behind you now.
Why are you talking to them? I don't want to talk to them. I don't want to talk about it.
Wasn't really
Maybe-
a case of,
Maybe
being
you
asked.
just maybe you just saw something. Maybe that nightmare you had or PTSD, like I said. Maybe you're just seeing things.
Oh, well, unless we're all experiencing the same thing. But don't worry. From what I've seen, this one's harmless. Stupid, ignorant, but harmless.
I don't believe anything is harmless on that other side. But what did it want?
Nothing. Apparently, it was curious. A little too curious, maybe, but yeah. That's it.
None of you accidentally made a deal with it. They're pretty
clever.
Maybe not smart, but clever.
They want
Other than
something, they
teach-
can be clever. But this
Other
one
than teach-
wanted nothing.
Jimmy?
Okay.
Well, other than teaching him how to use a phone, which I think went really badly. I can't help but think he's now stood in the lobby with a phone in his hands. But other than that, like I say, I think he was just exploring a newfound world.
You have just finished listening to this week's episode of Changeling the Lost 2nd Edition. Once more into the Hedge, part of the Domain Gaming's Contagion Anthology. Written and told by Wyverian. A special thanks to you, the listener, and if you wish to continue supporting us, subscribe, like, and share. And as always, comments are welcomed. Until the next chapter, don't stop asking yourself, how do you find the lost beauty in the agony of this life?